Ladies and gentlemen, now, I reacted to the Nokia music video, and in it, I pointed out the clear references, clear shots, clear different things that he was doing to Kendrick Lamar. And obviously, the worst of the OVO stands who I'm starting to realize don't understand hip hop or how to like analyze things or break that. We're like, you're reaching. Why you gotta make everything about Kendrick? Just to go online and see everybody was saying the same thing, including fantastic hip hop, and he's here to point out some more of the stuff, the more of the shots, more of the dishes. Listen, protect hip hop culture at all costs. Link is in the pinned comment. Go grab you one. I'm sending personal thank yous to everybody who grabs it for the next 6 days. I've been sending a bunch of them, so go grab them. Link in the pinned comment or go to
Now, when it
fromthevillage.us.
comes
Let's
to
go.
Drake, what we just witnessed is definitely up there as one of the most embarrassing things he has ever done in his entire career, and I am serious because really, with
Fantastic
Drake's new
hip-hop play.
Nokia music video, after trying to use this song, what it will represent, and this entire moment to start a shift and turning point in his career, where altogether Drake will finally start to win back what Kendrick Lamar has taken away from him and try to reclaim anything that he used to represent, well, somehow in this moment where Drake did everything he possibly could.
Hey, can I copy your homework? Sure, just make it look different so it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? The number one takeaway from this music video, the number one that I am seeing on every platform, on anything, is the Kendrick Lamar references. So,
to diss Kendrick Lamar in this video,
told you.
all he actually ended up achieving is
not just
showing
me.
once and for all that there is one king in rap and that it will never be him. And now, before we go any further into all of this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now, as the Drake fans are getting more annoying than ever because of all of this, really be sure to leave that like so everyone can hear how even with the most calculated effort from Drake and Ak, they are still about to take another massive loss. And so now, with all that said, when it comes to Drake and the Nokia video, with this being Drake's big musical play to start off this new chapter in his career and this moment where both as a rapper and in terms of the narrative he wanted to get back control of everything. I mean, with what is a major statement just from the stakes of it all, what we definitely saw over everything else was the type of creative that Drake is in this time. Which is not a good one, but let me slow down. As after Kendrick Lamar's all-time great run, and after events like the Super Bowl or the Grammy-winning Not Like Us video, with Drake responding to all of the visual symbolism and disses, with straight-up knockoff copies of Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free's visual imagery.
Okay. Hey, yo! So I've been putting y'all out to different ways to make money. Well, somebody mentioned Cash Kick, so I checked it out, and boy, I highly recommend it.
Just do it!
So it's an app in the App Store, and it works with other apps that are willing to pay you to play their games, and that's how you get paid.
That money!
It's easy to use because it's all organized into one app, and there's even other ways to make money, like daily cash giveaways or cash back for purchases, but the best way to make them is by just playing the games. Once you download it, all you got to do is find games to play. I recommend Domino Dreams because it's the fastest way to cash out, and they have a ton of other games if you want to play something else. Some of the games pay up to $500 plus. Yes, $500. But if you want to play just casually, there's some games that give you like $10 to $20. Just make sure you follow the instructions as to what levels trigger the payouts. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description so you can start getting your money today. The app is completely free, so make sure you download and you can start right now. As I go on further and further in this, and as I analyze lyrics, and I've been doing this my whole life. I'm an artist. I write my own stuff, so I have a different type of attachment when it comes to this. The more I don't really even pay attention to stupid people, but the number one thing I feel Kendrick was wrong about this battle is when he said, "Hey Drake, they're not dumb. No, they're cripplingly. I mean, fundamentally to their core stupid. There's a percentage of people, and they really seem to be Drake stans. It don't even seem to be like Kendrick stans. It seems Drake stans who always seem to misinterpret stuff, who always seem to get things right, who always seem to lie about Drake, and then it'll get debunked. Always. That's why I said that the stan community of Drake, not the fans, the OVO stans, the parasocial groups that make pages straight dedicated to Drake where it's owls and pictures of Drake. They don't even have pictures of themselves. They are idiots. Those people are not hip hop fans. I'm starting to learn. Some of them are full blown racists. So it's no, y'all have somehow managed to gather Drake more and more losses. The losses that Drake keeps taking after the battle, a lot of them are his fault. Like, he takes percentage in all of them. But there's a big percentage of the losses because his fans keep trying to find W's that aren't there, and they create them to losses. So,
I mean, you just can't make this stuff up if you try. And I don't know who on Drake's team told him to do this, because with all of the obvious callbacks to what Kendrick has done, I mean, while Drake thought he was getting disses off, he really just ends up taking another all-time pathetic title in hip-hop as he turns into the first rapper who got embarrassed so bad that really now he wants to be the guy who has humiliated and really ended his career. And
I don't know how people see... Hold on.
It's so bad that really...
How do y'all see these two things and not think that they're like supposed to be visually representative of each other? Or that could be the interpretation. And if it wasn't supposed to be like that for Drake, if Drake wasn't trying to have people think that, he failed. Because most people are going to analyze.
Now he wants to be the guy who has humiliated and really ended his career. And of course, with all of this, the major problem is, it gets to a point here where it doesn't even seem like you are dissing him back, but it just starts to look like you are copying him because you have no ideas. Because really, with how many stories has Drake copied from Not Like Us? Which, no matter what you want to say, from getting SGA here, which feels just like DeMar DeRozan being in Not Like Us, and because of the placement and how Drake spends every single second of this thing copying Kendrick pretty much, despite the actual connection that Drake and SGA have because of where they are from, it still feels so forced because every single thing here is a knockoff of what Kendrick did to other big choreographed scenes, which also mirror the Super Bowl as well. I mean, it is just so obvious what Drake was doing here that it loses any sort of nuance or complexity that it had. And really, that whole owl thing, which Drake fans think he has now won the beef over, and once again think that Drake is a mastermind for trying to up Kendrick's visual from...
I ain't gonna lie to you. A nigga seeing this video and seeing this screen and being like, you see, Drake won! That is copium. That is a person who's about 20 minutes away from overdosing on copium. What? This is the... Y'all trying to get W's and they're gonna turn to L's every time. I really keep telling y'all, if you are an OVO glazer and like an OVO stan, not a regular fan, like an OVO psychopath, I'm telling you, you guys' powers are better used trying to get Drake back to where he was. I'm telling you. Try to support him more than you try to hate on the people who don't like him, because you're only platforming the people who don't like him even more. And the people who don't like him, the people on Kendrick's side, are winning. So... it's easy to take W's and L's from Drake. So
Not like
I would just try to
ultimately
get more
any of the
W's from
storytelling or
actually
progression that would
supporting.
come with that means absolutely
They
nothing.
ain't gonna
Because
listen
just
to
like
it.
with this entire moment we are seeing now, there's no build up to make any of this feel like it was earned or that gets this really smart and genius move that is going to win him anything back. And beyond the disses themselves, I don't understand how Drake even thought doing all of this was a good idea. Because really, beyond all of these embarrassing Kendrick Lamar imitations, just in terms of the fact that Drake is trying to prove that the disses from these very songs he is copying ruined his career in the paperwork that he is so into pushing right now, I mean, as he is once again using his art to do the same thing that he is saying Kendrick did to end his career, beyond just the...
And the corniest part about that is he continues to diss Joe Budden, and Joe Budden's just not as soft as he is. But like when he called Joe Budden a de-esser on his album, and now he just released merchandise with Melissa Ford on it, his co-host, like... how are you a victim and still trying to play the bully role? Like, I don't get it. Like, that shit is stupid.
Video, he is really making the thing he cares about more than anything else just look like more and more of something he is trying to trick us with. And when we look at this moment from all these angles, it's hard to even take Drake seriously one bit, because everything he seems like he's doing is just an absolute joke. And when it comes to the whole narrative that Kendrick is using the beef to get attention still to this day, people on Drake's side can never use that again, because we have never seen a more desperate and petty use of this beef than right within this video. And really what Drake is...
The number one person pushing Not Like Us and pushing this beef is Drake. It is Drake. So I don't ever want to hear about anybody pushing this beef. Or y'all still covering? Absolutely, nigga. Absolutely. Drake wants us to.
Showing is that he has lost so much and that he is so bored of everything he has done, because maybe he's even realized that it's bad, that the only thing interesting he can talk about is the Kendrick beef. But what's really so baffling with this is that Drake took the last song he had a chance to become something bigger than this entire back and forth, and instead of trying to win fans back, all he has done is tie the song back to the beef and Kendrick Lamar with this awful rip of the Not Like Us video, really. And I think this move is going to be looked back on as one of the most embarrassing moves from Drake, and one of the most confusing, because he is really showing how he is a joke artist with no creative skill, and compared to his last videos, seeing how he has changed from using gimmicks to now copying Kendrick Lamar, it is just not a good look, and really shows how Kendrick has this man in shambles. But still, even with that, when it comes comes to Drake dragging this song into the beef, while the Nokia video has missed as an artistic statement and a winning play from Drake, it has kinda done something, and we are about to see the full and annoying impact of this move more and more, because all in all, when it comes to Drake's plan to just become the absolute worst thing we have ever seen in hip-hop, and overall this goal that Drake has to just try and discredit Kendrick after everything he has done, Nokia has created an anthem for the losers of rap that is being fully pushed by Drake to gather around the delusion that is coming from his entire crew and fan base, and from all of the weird Kendrick taunts, to just the fact that now it looks like Drake is trying to make this record bigger and bigger. He is bringing his fan base to a place where they are all behind him, and now that he has the support, with this bigger plan he has, which more than just the song itself, with both what him and Ak just did. In terms of just annoying everybody's timelines with the most ridiculous things, they have done it.
I do disagree with that part, though. I don't think that that's happening. I don't think that, like, yeah, of course Drake dropped something, but even when you compare the numbers of this Nokia music video to some of his past music videos, it's not working the same. And Nokia is still, what, 6 or 7 on the charts? So, I mean, I'm telling you that the biggest Drake glazers are too occupied battling the people who don't like Drake. They're howling at the moon. That's what the Drake stands are doing now. They're howling at the moon, forgetting to support the artist behind them. They're just screaming at the moon or screaming at the clouds for making it rain, like that's going to stop the rain. It's not.
Which really, accomplishing any of their goals is a first, and for them, they really have managed to just take over the entire hip-hop world and everything around them with the most loud and obnoxious discourse. And now when it comes to this storm that Drake...
Nah, I disagree with that completely. I think even between, it's the same antic stuff, between the Kanye stuff, I think that a lot of people are showing how sick, especially of Ak, they are.
And Ak have created. Well, Nokia is the moment that they wanted to win everyone back with, although it's really only done the opposite with how embarrassing it is. Everything started here with Ak's interview with Ye, and now while I will not be showing any of the clips from this disaster for obvious reasons, because we just can't show any of that, with Ak running to Ye, and from the time Ye opened that door to when they just spoke back and forth while Ye stood up and Ak just awkwardly and nervously looked at him, with this moment that if you show somebody even...
Showing that Ak is just an awful interviewer. I didn't watch it. I saw little clips and stuff and saw like transcribes and stuff, but it's like it shows that Ak is just
awful. A few years ago, they would be baffled by what they were looking at. Ak did what he does best here, which was use this all-time low moment from Ye, and not just give him an interview and space to start even more problems, but for what matters to Ak and the center of hip-hop right now, Ak asked the perfect set of questions to Ye to make sure that he said everything he needed so that they had all the narratives they could ever want to take down Kendrick Lamar, and at the same time give Drake more credit than any other rapper has given him since the beef. And now with all of these comments, which there are so many that it was really even hard to keep track of, over everything else what we can definitively say is that both Ye and Ak were really lighting up when they were saying awful things about Kendrick. And from Ye saying that Kendrick Lamar is an industry puppet and he was chosen by the labels to take down Drake.
I don't really even care about this Kanye part. I don't know why this turned into a video about Kanye.
Exact same thing to Drake, and that in his eyes, this whole beef was awful for him to watch because of this very reason. And of course, by going on this rant where he was really defending Drake, whether he realized...
Yeah, I don't want to hear about Kanye when he was... Kanye is a wishy-washy loser. I don't want to hear about
things he is so brave for being on, that because Drake is a part of the same group, he will one day be looked at like him. When we really put this interview into perspective, what Ak created here was a in this time where he is a respectful thing you could do to discredit hip-hop as an art form, as now with this problems that they want to, I mean, they were actually finally able to somewhat successfully do something, although it is the most annoying and disrespectful thing you could do to discredit hip-hop as an art form, as now with this interview, they have really brought together the entire community of defenders and people who think that there is always some grand plot and theory behind everything,
I don't know what Fantastic... I disagree with this completely. I don't know what he's seeing. That is not the reaction to the Kanye interview or the Nokia that I am seeing anywhere. Like, what? I'm not... I don't know if he's trying to make it sound more like ominous, like something evil about to happen, but I disagree with this 1,000,000%. I am not seeing any of this. I'm not seeing the... If anything, Nokia and the Kanye West interview hurt both of these people more than anything because the conversations are not positive. Like,
under the pretense to think that Drake is really on the right side of things and that he is trying to stand against the industry just like Kanye is right now before it is too late. And as Ye kept making such... They are looking at this as an eye-opening moment for them that is just making the entire community around...
Oh, is the rest of this video just about Kanye West?
About the music industry, which includes...
I thought this was a video about Nokia. Let me skip all this Kanye because I might do a Kanye West video separately, but I don't want to do the Kanye West video in the middle of the Nokia.
Artists like Kendrick have these bigger moments so they can control the artist more, which again, while we can't show anything, the way Kanye explained this is real.
All right, yeah, I think the rest of this is...
Record goes #1. Now he is releasing a have made sure is coming right alongside the most just to be a little right or get some sort of a win. I mean, we are already seeing it now. Things are really about to get more annoying than ever in hip-hop. He is really in this time. With what Ak has done, he has connected the two biggest names in rap whose careers are on...
Yeah. I don't... Is this legitimately the rest about Kanye West? Like, there's a little bit about this about Nokia, then the rest of this was about Kanye
on
West.
Drake's end, and not just an album like we saw with SSS For You, which had 20 songs that pretty much came and went, but now Drake is trying to create an anthem with the one song that people and really his desperate fan base are pushing to be a major #1 song with Nokia. And now after this track has been trying to stay around the top 10 of the charts for so long, now Drake has created his grand plan to do everything he possibly can to make sure that this record goes #1. Now he is releasing a full-fledged music video for the track, and with this he is trying to give the record all the support it needs to be everywhere and so it can reach that #1 spot once and for all. And really with this video now reaffirming all of the annoying things Drake is doing, in this time where Drake is building his victim complex and with Ye's comments which are directed by Ak, and even on top of this with his suit which is building up, altogether Drake has never put on a better act to try and convince his fans and everybody else that he is really a victim in the industry who has been wronged by them. And now with this record, beyond all of the misdirected anger that this entire community keeps throwing around as they crash out more and more about Kendrick Lamar and the rest of the rap game's success, now with Nokia being a song that is fully being pushed by Drake, OVO created the best vehicle they have since the entire beef to bring this entire group of people together and to try and push Drake back to the forefront of hip-hop and not just bring him back into the...
You know what this video feels like? It feels like this video feels more like Fantastic Hip Hop is like, thinks the sky is falling. It's what it feels like. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess he's just having a different experience with Nokia and stuff than I am. But yeah, the best vehicle since, what are you, no, nigga. The best vehicle for him to look like a victim was his lawsuits. That's why that kind of split his life, like kind of ejected him out of hip hop, because the only people who can support him after that are his worst type of stands. So no, I don't think the Nokia music video, and I don't think the Nokia music video and the Kanye West interview are like linked. It feels a little bit more conspiracy theorist-ish, and where it's like, oh no, they're all galvanizing each other, they're getting too strong. It's like, I don't think that's happening at all. But that's what Fantastic Hip Hop's seeing. So
conversation of respected rappers, but even more laughable than that, they are trying to flip the script and make Drake look like the hero as he is defeating the industry with all of this. And again, while to everyone who has seen what has happened and now the reality of how this beef has went, this just looks like an absolute joke.
I think you get this angle by watching the Kanye West interview and I don't know, believing some of the stuff he's saying, because I haven't seen the interview and I don't believe anything he says. So.
And now the reality of how this beef has went, this just looks like an absolute joke. And it's actually almost disrespectful that they are trying to change narratives like this to all the losing parties who want to drag this beef out and try to change its outcome. Whether it's Drake, Ak, or Ye, or any of the desperate people around them. With all of the noise from the narratives to the music coming out, which is all just trying to make everything we have seen about Kendrick and Drake and the success and failure of both artists illegitimate. Now for the first time since Drake's entire career falling apart, the effort they have is somewhat organized, and with the energy that is now not just coming from Drake and Ak, but also someone like Ye, who no matter how bad of a place his career is in, I mean, people are still lining up to hear what he has to say. I mean, overall, this entire group is now in motion and trying to trick everyone into thinking that they are the heroes in the story of hip-hop and that everything they are telling us is right, meanwhile in actuality.
Now I kind of see the angle he's trying to take here, where it's like, okay, with the Ye interview and it's like so if you believe that they're all coming together, and what Ye was saying was clearly in support of Drake, but like, I think the results that is happening, I think that's where he's wrong. I think he's being a hypochondriac a little bit. Is it like because this video started out like breaking down Nokia, and then it just spiraled into something else. So I was like,
all these artists and people are just jealous that their own decisions have gotten them to their respective points of failure, and now there is no turning back. And so all together with this, while Drake and Ak, and with the help of Ye, have started what they really want to be another round of beef within a much different way, and despite the combined delusion all these people have, these efforts are just never going to change what has happened in hip-hop and what Kendrick Lamar is standing for. And no matter how much they annoy everyone, none of this is going to change or take away the real impact that we have all seen from real greatness. So now with all of this
The
said,
place I disagree is I just don't think Kanye West and Drake are in cahoots the way that Fantastic Hip Hop clearly does. Now, is Ack trying to make things, angle things to help Drake? Possibly. And if that's what Fantastic Hip Hop's saying on that angle, I believe it. But this whole like they're coming together as a team and changing the narrative, and I don't think that, I disagree with them changing the narrative. Are they trying to? Possibly. Is it working? No, absolutely not. But once again, great video.